Did Rockstar Games leave the Red Dead Online update too long? Yesterday we got a rare piece of news from Rockstar Games about the next Red Dead Online update, but is it too little, too late? The last two significant updates were the Naturalist role in July 28, 2020, followed by the Bounty Hunter expansion in December 1st, 2020. They did add 3 short new Telegram missions on February 16th, and they did have the disastrous Outlaw Pass 5 release on March 31st, 2021, which didn't add any substantial content of value and just some crappy clothing to unlock. None of these were DLCs either, but just things that they added back on December 1st and drift fed out. So it's essentially 6 months later. And we finally got some news, which are some more races and a hint of something else to come, vaguely. I'm wondering, is there still a community left for them? Red Dead Online is a big game, clocking in at 123 gigabytes. That's a big chunk of space on a hard drive. To put that in perspective, the PS5 only has 667.2 gigabytes of usable hard drive space. So while each month passes, that hard drive space becomes more and more eyed up for newer games with new content, and once you install a game, it's going to take a lot more than some crappy clothing and a handful of missions to reinstall it. I can see a lot less interest in Red Dead Online these days, with the Outlaw Pass 5 being the last straw for many people. Many content creators have moved on to other games, leaving what's left trying to grow a community with no support or help from Rockstar Games. I always say I love the Red Dead Online community, but Rockstar Games is not part of that community. They don't talk or engage with the community or show any support to content creators. They basically just rely on the cesspool that is Twitter to communicate with people, and even then they keep trying to drive traffic and engagement to their social club. But for me personally, the social club is just an annoying thing that pops up when I forget to put away my camera when jumping on my horse. No, Rockstar, I don't want to post on the social club. Why? Cause no one will f***ing see it there. And yes, having the same button for 30 seconds connection to a social club while mounting your horse was a great idea. That said, I am a little sympathetic to the fact that they can't post anything without a mirage of kids asking where GTA 6 is, but if you consistently ignore your community, this is the level of engagement you should expect. Updating a live service twice a year with content people blow through in a week, and not communicating with people in the months in between or providing a roadmap really does put a burden on the types of content that people can make. As a result, the community just becomes stale. I would consider myself a major fan of Red Dead Redemption, played both games religiously and been playing the online since the beta. But when I read the newswire, I found it really hard to get excited about racing. I have personally no interest in horse racing, and unless the major update changes the horse racing mechanics, which I doubt, I may play them for an hour or two when they drop next week to see if they have made any major improvements. I mean, Rockstar will even add you to a race that's already halfway ended because they don't have dedicated servers. Do I want to spectate? No. If I wanted to spectate, I would go on YouTube or Twitch and actually watch someone. I loaded in a game because I wanted to play the thing. This is basically my experience with a lot of PvP online. I mean, I don't know. It's not great. It's not great. I did a poll on my channel to check the community's opinion and see what the common consensus is about the new races, and most people probably feel the same as me, and that's a strong meh. After 6 months, an update should be more than meh. I also did a poll to see if people are excited for the next update, and 44% are looking forward to it, with a good third saying meh. This poll was not for the horse racing update next week, but was more focused on the paragraph in the newswire. Just for those of you who didn't catch it, and those who want a reminder of what the newswire said, it was Red Dead Online's summer update will add a diverse array of new missions across the world for those looking to step into the criminal underworld. Down in Saint Denis, Angelo Bronte's trusted lieutenant Guido Martelli is working to create his own criminal network. So whether it's intimidation, unsavory crimes or larger high-stake robberies, riders best be willing to do whatever it takes to earn their blood money. Before, if Rockstar had said that, the poll would have shifted to hype. But 2 years in, many of us have read their marketing puff before and remain cautious. I mean, it sounds good, but it could just be a dressed up stranger mission. It could also be Telegram missions, as they did say back in February when they added them, keep an eye out for new missions in the future. We never did get any more, so maybe this is them. I am legitimately concerned that this will be just a stranger mission or a telegram mission. Even the image that they showed, there's nothing new in it. To be honest, you could have taken this photo while doing kerosene greed and tar mission. No new weapons, clothing or anything hinted, which is something they would normally do in a tease photo. Personally, considering the state of the game, I think they need a substantial update to content and a progressive community focused campaign to renew interest. Don't get me wrong, I would love to play some new missions in Red Dead Online, but they would have to be really well thought out missions with replayability. The Telegram missions were cool, but once I completed them on the hardest difficulty, I didn't replay them. 6 months is a long time to be waiting, and I don't think a few Telegram missions will cut it for a lot of the community. As I mentioned earlier, some people have uninstalled the game. I find it hard to expect them to reinstall it to play a few Telegram missions or do a few races. They would probably spend more time downloading it than actually playing them. I would love to be pleasantly surprised next week if I logged in and found the horse racing PvP revamped and much more stable, where people who join even just for XP and cash thought, wow, this is actually fun, I think I will actually play. Because horse racing really is a second thought for most, and many don't even know it exists in the game. Reading the comments on the poll, some people complained that other players ruined it. For example, people riding backwards in races. If Rockstar's poor matchmaking adds you in last place with only a minute left, what's the point? Rockstar designs the games, and they could improve the matchmaking or, at the very least, remove the hitbox if riding backwards. The responsibility is on Rockstar. But even if they did make these improvements, did they leave it too long to make them? These things should have been fixed consistently over time. And although it'd be much welcomed by the player base that is here now, I can't see it bringing back some of the player base that have left. I think what they have to add is outlaw related content, heists, bank robberies, train robberies, to bring new life into Red Dead Online. Things you can play with your friends or play solo, because a shrinking player base means you'll have less people that will play, so at least you can play the game if it's a solo option while you're waiting to stumble across a posse or something you can join. This is why I mentioned robberies in the post, I think. Not many people were going to get excited by races, but people would for robberies, which is why they would add it in. It's someone's job to create these posts and create a buzz, and they don't have a lot to work with, to be honest. As little as Rockstar listens to the community, there is no way they don't know people want more outlaw content at least. And did they leave it too long? Judging by the level of interest, I think they may have. People don't seem to be expecting much from this update, which, if they are right, will result in less interest overall in the game. I still love logging into Red Dead Online, as the world is beautiful and relaxing to ride around with and to chill out with some friends, but the community is shrinking, there is no denying that. This is why they are making it free in things like Xbox Game Pass, but I think that's just a bandage on a more serious problem. A big part of Rockstar's problem is poor communication and the long waiting between lackluster updates. I hope so much that I am wrong, as I really want Red Dead Online to be a success for them. I want the races to be overhauled next week so that we have something we can all enjoy. I want them to add high octane robberies and heists that can be played multiple ways, giving a lot of replayability. New achievements and secrets to be uncovered. This is what the community needs, what it deserves, and something we have already waited too long for. But these are just my thoughts and opinions, and now I'd really like to know what you think. So let me know below in the comments. Also, as always, thank you so much to the members. You guys are amazing. I'll catch you y'all in the next one.